yourself and everyone under your command killed. But I believe in you, Jim.
Darkness is coming.
This could just be the beginning.
Beginning of what?
All-out war.
Hey guys, Lucas here again for another movie review. I'm sorry this review is a little bit late. I know this movie came out on Thursday. I saw it yesterday. Didn't have a chance to shoot this until now. But nevertheless, this is my review for Star Trek Into Darkness, the sequel to the 2009 Star Trek film directed by J.J. Abrams. Star Trek Into Darkness has the same original cast as was in the 2009 film. You got Chris Pine as James T. Kirk, Zachary Quinto as Spock, and I have a little Zachary Quinto haircut going on as we speak. Simon Pegg as Scotty, John Cho as Sulu, and pretty much all of the original members of the Enterprise are in this movie. And then you have some new additions as Peter Weller, RoboCop himself is in this movie, and the awesome villain played by Benedict Cumberbatch as John Harrison. And this movie has a very simple plot. John Harrison is a terrorist. He's blowing up stuff. He's terrorizing London. He stages an attack on the Enterprise, and it's basically up to the crew and everybody to find and kill him and find out why he's doing these things. That's all I'm going to say because that's the basic setup, but there are some twists and turns along the way. I actually saw the first Star Trek about 2 months ago. I rented it on Netflix to prepare myself for this movie, and I heard nothing but good things going into it. I liked it a lot. I didn't think it was fantastic as everyone says, and I may be in the minority here, but I actually like this one just as much, or if not a little bit more, than the original Star Trek. Both this film and the other Star Trek have fantastic performances. Chris Pine, again, is fantastic as Kirk. I heard J.J. Abrams, when describing this movie, he said 2009 Star Trek was about Kirk getting into the chair. This one is about him earning it, and that's a definitely prominent theme in this movie, is about Kirk having to make difficult choices and sacrifices. His relationship with Spock is similar to the one in the first, but it's not a retread. It goes in different places, and all the other characters are just really well done as well, but I think that the Kirk-Spock relationship in this one is really strong. However, the real scene stealer in this movie, and you'll probably be hearing about it when people see this movie, is Benedict Cumberbatch as the villain. He is super menacing. I know a lot of people were hyped for him to be in this movie because a lot of people love the show Sherlock, and I've never really seen anything he's done besides this, but my God, was he menacing. He's got the bassiest, deepest voice ever. He's a complete badass. His fight scenes are awesome, and he was just a great villain. In fact, one of the biggest problem for me about the original Star Trek film is that Eric Bana as Nero was a really weak and forgettable villain with kind of weak motivations and not a really clear plan. This one I felt made up for that with a great villain, and probably the best villain in the Star Trek series. And this film runs a little over 2 hours, but for 2 hours you just get action, 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 and this is going to satisfy the big popcorn fans because there's literally never downtime in this movie. There's always something happening, some important plot thread, some big set piece, and the set pieces are all really well done. I think they're a little bit more exciting than they were in the first film. There's a lot more of them, and I think that this one has a nice balance of space action and Earth action, while in the original I think 90% of the action in that movie was pretty much all intergalactic. This one has a nice mix, so I really dug that, and all of the film's effects are super impressive, and it's not just like stupid Michael Bay Transformers action. There's actually, it advances the plot, and there's a reason why there's stuff blowing up. But what I really love about this movie is that there's some great emotional moments in here. There's some moments where even though I knew something was going to happen, or they were trying to set up something that I knew was not going to last. I can't say what it is because I don't want to spoil it. I will probably do a spoiler vid about this video to explain more, but it still worked, and there's a great scene in this movie that they hint at in the trailer between Kirk and Spock, and I almost got teary-eyed. I loved it. The only thing that I could say that's negative about this movie, and it's kind of a odd thing is to say, is that the pacing of this movie is so relentless that it almost seems like the movie just keeps throwing stuff at you, and you almost wish that you had some time to breathe, because it sometimes gets a little exhausting. And usually I'm not one to complain about fast pacing, but I think that if this one had a few more slow points, I don't need a lot of exposition or anything, I just need maybe just some characters talking instead of a big set piece, and that's what I'll say the original film has a little bit better pacing. That's the only thing I can say that that movie does better than this one, and this one's kind of a nitpick, but they do feel the need to throw out a lot of references to the original Star Trek movie and show, and I've never seen any of the show or any of the movies really, except for a couple, and I could tell which ones they were throwing out, and they pretty much throw out every major one, and while some are funny, some just feel really crowbarred in, but that's not really a complaint, it's just kind of a nitpick. Overall, I'm going to say Star Trek Into Darkness is really good. It just doesn't quite reach greatness just like the first one did. I could see how some might be disappointed in this one. I can understand why some might feel like it improves on what the original did. But personally, I like this one a little bit more. It's damn good summer entertainment. It has great set pieces, a great villain. Just an overall good movie. Just maybe a few minor touches could have made it great. But for right now, Star Trek Into Darkness gets 4 stars out of 5. That's my review of Star Trek Into Darkness. Let me know what you thought. Did you like the original better? Did you like this one? What did you think of Benedict Cumberbatch? I thought he was awesome. Subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you guys later.
The ship's dead, sir. She's gone.
No, she's not. No ship should go down without her captain.